Hi, my name is Madonna. I am a junior enrolled at St. Peter's University, and the purpose of this video is pretty much to explain intermittent fasting for a health and nutrition class that I'm taking as a requirement for my core curriculum. So pretty much I just want to start off with cons regarding this diet. Once again, the diet is intermittent fasting, and a lot of people have negative opinions regarding the diet, which I agree. But also, I'll put this in towards the end. But I do have some personal experience with this diet. So here we go. So cons. Firstly, you're gonna feel hungrier. Because you're not eating as much. You're pretty much, a lot of people can say you're starving yourself. Secondly, you're gonna start feeling sick and fatigued in the morning if that's the first thing you do is work out. Some people wake up and they go for a run in the morning. You're gonna feel sick, you're gonna feel nauseous because you're not putting anything in your system before going for a run. Number 3. It's not going to correspond with other diets. Let's say, for example, someone's already doing the keto diet. Keto diet is pretty much low on carbs, high on protein. A lot of people have lost a ton of weight with that. However, if you're not eating anything throughout the day and you come with the one meal that you're giving your body, and you're not giving your body carbs or it's just food that isn't gonna fill you up, it's not you're gonna feel really weak. Number 4, there is minimal research regarding this kind of diet, which a lot of people do feel uncomfortable with practicing this diet because there's not as much experimenting with it. There's not a lot of proven capabilities with the diet. That's a fear, which is understandable. Lastly, it can be taken too far. So as I mentioned before, a lot of people can compare this diet to starving yourself. And that can be the situation. There can be situations where a young lady is like, hey, I'm trying this diet, when in reality she's just starving herself and she's just saying it's part of her schedule to not eat. So you have to be careful with that. Also, what I want to get into is why you shouldn't consider this diet, or certain situations where you shouldn't consider this diet. So you shouldn't consider intermittent fasting if you are on medications that require that you eat. So let's say, for example, I'm going to get into this later, but there is the warrior diet where you fast all day and you come back and you eat during the night a big meal. So for that, there are some medications where you're required to take a pill in the morning, but you have to eat breakfast, or you're required to take the pill 20 minutes after having breakfast. But if you're fasting throughout the day and you take the pill, it's just going to make your body weaker and it's going to have a negative effect on your body. Also, as I mentioned before, starvation is a big fear of this diet. So you shouldn't consider this diet if you have a history of eating disorders, if you've been anorexic, if you've been bulimic, and any type of eating disorder. It's highly recommended that you speak to a doctor first regarding this. If you have any metabolic disorders, you should also not consider this diet. Pregnant women should stay away from this diet, or if you're trying to conceive, because that's a whole different diet. You need to have a certain amount of calories during the day. You're on certain medications, prenatals, whatever. It's just good to eat healthy if you're pregnant or expecting. Also, you shouldn't consider this diet if you're a child or you're a teenager. If you're of age, if you're of legal age to make that kind of decision, then you go ahead, go for it. As long as you speak with a doctor first, you're good. Let me get into pros because everything so far has been negative about this diet. So pros. It changes gene functions, cell functions, hormone functions. It can lower blood pressure. It can lower bad cholesterol. It can fix that. I'll get into bad cholesterol in a minute. Secondly, it'll lower belly fat. You'll start to see excess belly fat just gone, disappearing. Thirdly, it lowers the risk of type 2 diabetes. So back to bad cholesterol. Bad cholesterol can lead to type 2 diabetes, which if it fixes bad cholesterol, it takes away the risk of even having type 2 diabetes. So that's definitely a positive because you're losing all that excess fat without really working out, without really going to the gym. It's just practicing a daily diet or a weekly diet for that matter. Also, it improves heart health by improving blood sugar levels. And yeah, so there are 6 different ways that you can do this diet. Number 1, you can do the 16-8 fast. That is where you eat for 8 hours and you fast for 16 hours. You decide based on your daily functions and your weekly, your schedule. You decide what 8 hours you decide you want to eat and what 16 hours you want to fast. There is the 5-2 fast where you eat 5 days, whatever you want, whenever you want, but you fast 2 days out of the week. Some people do this where they eat during the week, like the weekdays, the 5 days, because they work the 5 days. So they just know they're going to get hungry, they're going to get stressed at work, they need to eat. And it's just easier to just be home during the weekend and and fast the 2 days. Some people are unable to fast 2 consecutive days, so they split it. It's up to you. There is the eat, stop, eat way, where you do the 24-hour fast at least once or twice a week, but for the rest of the week you eat whatever you want. Once again, that's up to you when you want to fast, when you want to eat. There is the alternate day fasting where you fast every other day. You can decide to fast 4 days a week and eat 3 days. You can decide to eat 4 days of the week and fast 3 days. It's up to you as well. It's up to you, up to your schedule, up to what your body requires. There is what I mentioned before, the warrior diet, the warrior fast, where you fast all day and then you eat a large meal at night, not during the night. You can do it, some people try not to eat before 7 o'clock. So if you get off work at 5, gives you an hour to get everything ready, and you eat at 6 or 6:30. Some people can't fast all day. So what they do with the warrior fast is they eat smaller portions of fruits and vegetables throughout the day and then wait until the end of the day to eat a really big meal. And lastly, number 6, that is the spontaneous meal skipping. Pretty much, let's say you're running late in the morning and you have no time to eat breakfast. Breakfast is going to be your skipped meal. Let's say you come home, you're exhausted from work, you have no time to cook dinner, and just no energy to cook dinner, you just want to skip dinner, that'll be your skipped meal. There's no set thing, set schedule for this. There's no set, okay, you have to skip 1 meal every day. You can skip 1 meal every 2 days. It's all based on your body and what your body requires. So personal experience, I have tried intermittent fasting, but I did it my way. I tried it for about maybe half of a semester, where I would eat whatever I want in the morning. I would try not to eat past 2 o'clock. So it depends on what time I wake up. It wasn't exactly the 16-8 fast, where I ate for 8 hours and fasted for 16. It's just whenever I woke up, I would eat, and I just wouldn't eat past 2 o'clock. Obviously, some days I would be at work all day. I would let myself go. I would let myself eat around like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, because I've been at work all day and I'm hungry. I hadn't eaten anything all day. But yeah, mainly I would recommend just drink a lot of water. And it did work for me. I did see a lot of belly fat disappear in a way. I did lose weight, not like 15, 20 pounds. I mean, I lost a couple pounds here and there. Once again, I only did it for about a month and a half. But yeah, it did work. My body did get used to it. At first, I needed to adjust to get used to feeling hungry at night. Eventually, my body got used to it, and yeah, and if I did get hungry, I would eat a fruit, or I would eat some type of mixed nuts, almonds, pistachio, something that would fill you up, but was healthy at the same time. Because those were like the hours that I can't eat. So if you're gonna eat, it has to be something healthy. Um, so yeah, that is my presentation regarding intermittent fasting. Thank you.